So here is a recent paid ad that I created for Gary Brecka and the Ultimate Snooze.
If you're not sleeping on an organic mattress, that's what you need to wear to bed, because you've got petroleum-based dyes, glues, and you have boric acid, the same thing they use to kill cockroaches. That is what's in all of these foams. Flame-based retardants, VOCs, polyfluoroalkyls, and these outgas into your lungs at night while you sleep. This is terrible for your cellular biology. This is why I launched the Ultimate Snooze mattress, because this is an organic wool on top of organic tree sap latex from Sri Lanka. It is 100% USDA certified organic, no outgassing. If you're ready to get a chemical-free night's sleep, head over to theultimatesnooze.com right now and start sleeping chemical-free.
So in this video, I think the hook is pretty strong. We've got a really strong visual hook going on with Gary ripping off a gas mask, because that's inherently interesting. What is this high-res image of somebody taking a gas mask off of their face? Couple that with an auditory experience, you have a strong hook.
If you're not sleeping on an organic mattress.
So as we progress through the video, you'll notice I'm doing something interesting here that I think is quite important, and it helps facilitate this concept of storytelling that everybody is so caught up on when it comes to videos. So if you notice, organic mattress is green. This is the first time that I'm introducing a color into the all-white captions. This is intentional, of course, because organic mattress, we want them to associate green with good. Organic mattress being green is only the good guy because we have to introduce a villain, and I do that in the next frame. And this is something that is a staple in quality short-form video storytelling, establishing a hero and establishing a villain as soon as possible.
That's what you need to wear.
Now the next frame that comes after the hero was revealed, I intentionally reveal the villain. And so we want to villainize the gas mask. We want to make it a bad thing that Gary is wearing a gas mask. And so I do that with some masking, and I create this blinking red effect.
That's what you need to wear.
Now, we're not the purpose of this video is to not necessarily villainize gas masks, and as Gary describes these chemicals that make up these mass-produced mattresses, I highlight them in red. And so I'm framing all other mattresses as evil while framing organic mattresses as the hero.
Petroleum-based dyes, glues, and you have boric acid, the same thing they use to kill cockroaches.
So that red on the text is very intentional. Very, very intentional, and it's only effective because now I've established the good guy and the bad guy. If you just introduce red, the comprehension isn't there as to who is the good guy, and vice versa. If you just do green, the comprehension isn't there as to who is the bad guy, right? So you have to make it apparent and easy to understand off the get.
Dyes, glues, and you have boric acid, the same thing they use to kill cockroaches. That is what's in all of these foams. Flame-based retardants, VOCs, polyfluoroalkyls, and
so again, framing the negatives in a red light, and this red is only effective as a negative signal because I have framed the green organic as a positive signal in the beginning. The good guy and the bad guy are relative, meaning they have to play in the same world. There is no good without a bad, and there is no bad without a good. So you have to give both.
these outgas into your lungs at night while you...
Okay, so now this is an interesting frame here. Gary is talking about all of these terrible things that are inside of mainstream mattresses. Flame-based retardants, VOCs, polyfluoroalkyls. I needed to communicate that these bad chemicals are inside of the mattress and that they're outgassing inside of the mattress. So I decided to introduce an overlay of smoke. So a plume of smoke to show that these chemicals that he's talking about are gaseous and can be released through outgassing. Now, that is effective. That is effective at communicating that message. However, I wanted to link these outgassing negative chemicals with the concept of a traditional mattress. And so the creative decision that I made was to, in the coming frame, have an image of a woman sleeping in bed, but have the smoke carry into that frame. Now, I'm not going to have the text carry into the frame because that's a little distasteful. It's not subtle enough, right? There's not enough flavor to that. And so I have the text fade away, but the gas is still there. So I'm essentially, the villain is living on. Flame-based retardants, VOCs, polyfluoroalkyls, those are the villains. But now I capture and I wrap that up in this gas overlay. That's now the villain. So the villain is the gas because it's eaten up all of those red bad things. Now I introduce woman sleeping. And so what your brain thinks is it's taken all of those negative red chemicals that were listed before Your brain has wrapped it up into the gas, and your brain goes, ah, okay, gas
lungs at night while you
into your lungs at night when you sleep. What's into your lungs at night when you sleep? Those red chemicals. Those red chemicals are the devil. What's the opposite of the devil? Oh, organic mattresses, because that was established in the very beginning, right? So this is the train of thought that I'm taking the viewer through.
This is terrible for your cellular biology. This is why I launched the Ultimate Snooze mattress, because this is an organic wool on top of organic tree sap latex from Sri Lanka. It is 100% USDA certified organic, no outgassing. If you're ready to get a chemical-free night's sleep, head over to theultimatesnooze.com right now and start sleeping chemical-free.
Great. So, I mean, not a whole lot of depth going on in the back end, more just on the positive note explaining the hero. So now we're getting the hero explanation. We had introduction of the hero. We had its enemy come into the frame. It was explained why the enemy is bad. Outgassing all throughout your lungs all night. We don't want these chemicals inside of our body. I wouldn't want to end on that note, because then that's ending on a down note. You want to have the viewer end on a high note, and you want the viewer's high to be associated with the product, right? So it goes hero. It goes hero in the beginning. Frame the hero. Introduce the villain. Describe the villain. Tell the viewer why the villain is bad. Reintroduce hero as the solution to the villain's story. That's short form video editing kind of 101, stripped to its bare bones, right? This is what we need to be thinking as short form video editors. How can we introduce a hero as quickly as possible? How can we introduce a villain as effectively and quickly as possible? How can we tell the story of the villain? And then how can we tell the story of the hero conquering the villain? That is what storytelling is. People talk about this storytelling aspect when it comes to short form video. Storytelling. Yes. It's quite simple. Introduction of hero, introduction of villain. How do those two things play out? Now, the framework of all videos do not have to follow this hero, villain, hero resolution arc. There can be, especially with short form, you can arrange these components in various different ways. You can have hero, villain, villain conquers, but then in the next video you have villain enters the video, and then hero comes and whoop-pow, he just knocks out the villain, right? And I'm speaking hypothetically here, I'm speaking metaphorically here. When I did my collaborations with Brick, this company,
Instagram. Basically, this brick sucks up Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, puts it into here, and the only...
So the brick is something that basically it helps with screen time. It kind of locks away all of your addicting apps, forces you to tap a brick to access those apps again. And so the brick is, I'm clearly trying to elevate the brick to hero status while at the simultaneously demonizing and reminding people that these applications are evil. And so that's accomplished within the first 5 seconds of the video. Except this video structure goes demonize, introduction of hero, how that hero wrangles together those demons, right? So this is storytelling. I'll play it again. I'll play just that intro.
Basically, this brick sucks up Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, puts it into here, and the only way that I can access the
hero, introduction hero, demon, puts it into here. Actually, it didn't really introduce the full solution. It just said, a container in which that houses the demons isn't necessarily the hero yet, right? So that loop is actually still a little bit unclosed. I haven't revealed to the audience that the brick is necessarily the hero just yet, but there's actually a genuine curiosity there. What is this device that is housing all of this evil? Is the device evil or is the device good, right? So it actually draws out the viewer's attention span because they want to close that loop. That's why this video did really well. I think it did over 100,000 views. I think like 150,000. So let me see. I'll point out when I close the loop, when I introduce the brick officially as the hero.
those apps after locking it is by physically tapping my phone to the brick. Because of the brick, I feel way more focused, way more present, and more in control of my distraction.
Okay. Because of the brick, I feel way more focused, etc., etc. Now I'm introducing, I'm priming the audience to say, to lean towards, oh, the brick must be on the good side because I'm listing good qualities. Now, I haven't outright said it just yet. I will. But your brain is being shepherded in the right direction, exactly where I want it to go. There should be no doubt in your mind that the brick is a good thing at this point in the video, but you haven't gotten that confirmation yet, so you continue to watch.
All right, how does this work? Inside the Brick app, you manually select the apps that you want to be blocked. And the beautiful thing about this compared to other app blockers.
So actually, I still haven't closed that loop yet. I'm explaining it. So I'm actually explaining this sort of neutrally positive person, this neutrally positive character. I haven't closed that loop yet. I haven't seen this video in a minute, but let's see where I close the loop.
Is that you cannot bypass the block unless you go and tap your brick. They're very smart about this, and they've built in a couple emergency unbricks in case you find yourself needing to do that. But for the most part, you cannot bypass the lock, and that is what makes the brick so powerful. Ever since getting the brick, I've really been enjoying being in the driver's seat again of like my attention and where my focus goes, and I have a better grip on my distractions now.
Okay, so actually watching this back, this is more of like a subtle introduction of Hero. This is actually kind of what makes organic, this is organic content. This is UGC organic content. Now, what makes paid ads different than organic, like from the way that I approach it, is paid, the video is being pumped into your attention, right? So you didn't necessarily choose to have it there. There's money behind it, propelling it into your attention span. And so you, the viewer, are not asking to see that video. And so there's not a whole lot of wiggle room in a paid ad. There's not a lot of room for covert storytelling. There's not a lot of room for discreet, tasteful introductions of characters and heroes and villains, etc., etc. You want to be quick and you want to be blunt when it comes to paid ads because the viewer wasn't asking for that video. They were not asking for that video. So you have to do them a service and say, listen, I understand you weren't asking for this video, so I'm going to literally spoon feed you as quickly as possible exactly what I'm trying to say, right? Gary Brecka video. Hero, immediately established. Villain, immediately established. Resolution. This is how the hero conquers the villain. Now, in a video that's primarily organic, especially like when it has my person in it, you do not want to be as overt with the storytelling because that leaves a little bit of a paid vibe, like that, like a sponsored vibe, or it leaves a little bit of like a advertising commercialized feel, because that's what commercials are, right? You think of a Super Bowl actually no, the good Super Bowl commercials are we're getting into, there's a lot of depth here actually. But think of like a TV show commercial or even like a YouTube ad. They're short and concise because every second matters, right? They tell the story as directly as possible, essentially. Now with organic on the other side, a lot of times the viewers are choosing to follow you, or they're choosing to watch your video and choosing to engage with your video. And so their brains can receive a little bit more play. Their brains can receive a little bit more flexibility and ambiguity with the messaging. And you can give the viewer a little bit more freedom and liberty to make their own discernment and judgment off of what is being discussed. So when I'm approaching that edit, I don't necessarily need to command people's attention with organic like I would with paid. That's not to say that, you know, organic content that I create is definitely like guiding the viewer somewhere. Like there's definitely a strong mission and a strong purpose within that video, absolutely. But it has the luxury of being a little bit more covert, a little softer, a little more artistic, a little bit more tasteful, etc., etc. And we know this. Paid ads, they're not supposed to be artistic. They're not supposed to leave the viewer wondering what the heck that was, or pondering or questioning. No, paid ads need to be effective immediately. There's money behind it, there's pressure on it, etc., etc. And so that's sort of the basic gist as to how I separate paid versus organic. And I you know, these two examples I think are prime. Gary Brecka, the ultimate snooze. Paid ad. Quick. Storytelling is very apparent. Brick.
Go try one for.
Storytelling is a little bit more covert, a little more tasteful, a little more artistic, a little more leave the viewer being like, oh, that hero was cool, but I kind of want to know more about him. Like I want to know more about the brick. I'm curious. Like let me find out more. Well, okay. Thank you for listening to my rant on organic versus paid and such like that. So appreciate you being here. My name is Ty Ferrago. I am a professional video editor. I've been doing this for like 10 years. I'm looking to give back. I'm looking to teach the youth. I'm looking to teach you. I'm looking to teach my peers how to create content more effectively, more efficiently, and with greater depth. Because I think that that's where the market is going right now. I think the content world is elevating, thankfully, and rightfully so. There's a lot of competition entering the market, and I aim to be a beacon of reason and a voice of truth when it comes to video editing and best practices and such. So if you're into that kind of stuff, stick around for more. Give me a follow, subscribe if you want, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.